Good morning, everyone. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us for Second Cup.
Look how tall you are. My chair keeps sinking.
Please, I've been doing the same thing.
So we have these chairs and like you can put them up all the way.
You know these chairs.
But you sit in them and then they sink so badly.
Now, I don't know if that's a result of us being...
I wouldn't worry about what it's a result of.
Very smart.
It's the chairs. See, look how tall I am now. Give this 2 minutes.
I know. I've been...
Oh, already going down.
I was telling Katie how yesterday when I was out in the field on the east side, somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, I watch you in the morning." I'm like, "Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you for watching."
And she's like, chatting me up and she goes, "Oh, you a little thick."
Oh.
It's like, oh my God.
What is it supposed to mean? Fat?
I mean, I think thick is a good thing. Fat.
It's supposed to be muscly?
I don't know. And I was like,
what do you mean by that?
What do you mean? Tell me more. I was laughing because, like for so long, people, I think I had worked so hard to be so thin, but then I also have worked hard to be
thick.
Yeah, I guess
there you go.
so.
Now it's paying off.
It was just so funny. Anyway.
Sometimes you just have these funny moments with people.
Yes, Kelly says thick is a good thing. Perfect. Well, then I'll take it. She made me laugh. I was laughing. Gosh, I should apologize to everyone for being a little all over the place this morning because...
Boy, you were in the middle of a song today.
So 6:45, we're coming back from a commercial break. And normally the producers are like, "Oh, we've got 5 seconds." And they say, "Okay, stand by, blah, blah." John must have been saying it. He was the producer for the 6 o'clock this morning.
I heard it.
I did not.
And he's like walking where he's supposed to go. And then right before we come back from a commercial, he literally breaks into a song.
And it was Taylor Swift.
What is he doing?
I start,
The show starts and he's like,
"You gonna marry, kiss, or kill me?"
Straight into the lyrics. I go, "Edward, Edward." He goes, "What?" I go,
"Run!"
TV.
It was so funny. Well, anyway, what I was going to say was yesterday was kind of a very emotionally charged and very draining day.
Well, and it's been a long week because when you lead up to a big day of coverage like this, like you were out there doing a lot of stuff, you're like, we are collecting all that stuff leading up to it, collecting it, writing it, making sure it's ready to go, whatever. So it's just like labor intensive. Then that day you're on. And then you've got a lot of things going on.
Right.
Someone's telling you you're thick. But it's a lot. So today you were a little, I could tell from the morning, I could tell when I first looked at my phone and there was no, "What color are we wearing today?" Or blah, 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 blah. There's no sassy little, there's nothing. I was like, oof, he's tired today.
I am very tired. And it like, I don't want to like say it like it was a bad thing because I feel like.
No, but it's work. It's an emotionally draining part of work. Like,
yeah.
Because not only are you gathering all this stuff, you're doing all this stuff, but then
it's real.
Yeah, there's a lot behind it.
Right.
And it's a lot. It's a long day for so many people, for so many reasons.
Right. And that was kind of my point. Like
experiencing it all.
With them.
And you come home and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Cindy says it's a great positive Monday morning. Can't even read.
So like, here's kind of what I wanted to say on the memorial, and I would love to hear your thoughts about what you think. The beauty of it is so inspiring.
It's only going to get prettier and prettier too. I was thinking as the garden,
exactly,
because they're brand new plants. I was like, oh, this is going to be so pretty as it grows.
This is kind of exactly what I think Jeff Baker is putting it in really eloquent terms. You absorb the emotion. And like, that's kind of our job is like, we take in what the community is saying and, how the community is feeling. And we are kind of like the vessel to pass it along to everyone else. And when I have literally submersed myself in this since the shooting, because I think it's just so important to, really dig into the pain that people are feeling, but also the trauma from the past and how we move that forward. And so, when you listen to all of this, and then like yesterday was a really heavy day. So I found myself like trying to find some life. Like I found myself smelling the flowers. There's lilac bushes in front of my house. And I was like, okay, like bring me back to earth. Bring me
Kelly
back
says
down.
she gets it. She understands. Peter says he remembers you broadcasting. It's got to be hard. All right, let's turn this conversation around because I'm seeing the cuppies who are chit-chatting about getting a chiropractor. Mom's asking about a TENS unit. Have you ever used a TENS unit?
Yeah, it's great.
Melly's got back pain. You go to the chiropractor.
Yeah, I kind of stopped after a while.
Did it help you?
Yeah, Dr. Steve's the best. I love Dr. Steve.
Did you crack like a...
No, but you know what,
I imagine you being like having so much stress in you.
Yes.
That you crack like a... What cracks? What's
like a log, like a stick.
Yeah, crack like a stick.
My friend Mitch, I see him at the gym every day. And, you know, as queens do, we pick, you know, we give each other a big hug.
Okay.
Hi, hey, oh my gosh. Yes, he picks me up and cracks my back.
Did you ever let me crack your back?
No, because I know exactly how it's going to go. Oh, let me crack my back. Lay down. I'm going to walk on your back.
I'm not going to walk on your back. I don't want you to die.
No, I've never let you crack my back. Why? How are you going to do it?
Like this. You're probably not supposed to do that. Don't take medical advice from me.
Dr. Steve has this bench.
I've been to his practice not to go to a chiropractor to watch. Remember they would
do babies?
Children.
Yeah.
He didn't do the infants. Boy, that was very interesting. Another chiropractor. I watched her adjust in infants. Remember I said, listen,
very
it's
controversial.
It's a small little pop, but it's apparently can help them with breastfeeding and things like that. Like they can't turn their little heads because they went through a lot of trauma. So did mom. But
you mean coming out?
Yeah, for the mom and the baby, the chiropractor was like, they're, you know, smashed. So sometimes they do these little tiny little baby chiro. Like, so it was wild to see. It was cool.
That is really interesting. And I never thought about that.
The babies are like, God, get out. And then she's like, they go through a lot of trauma and they're like little necks or little backs. Sometimes they can't turn their little heads to breastfeed. So she said that was the adjustment she was doing on like this baby was like the teeniest like little neck turn. And remember, we have the video. This is years ago. We did the story, and it made like a little crack, but like not like you'd hear an adult, and it wasn't like you cracking, you know.
Right.
It's like a little.
Lauren says Vincenzo's going to a childhood pediatrician and a pediatric chiropractor.
Interesting.
Melly says though her back pain is making her nauseous and having spasms. Not normal. Hey, you might want to get that checked out. Not that we're doctors, but
yes. Look at Andrea knows about it too.
Yeah. Mary says she's never been to a chiropractor. A lot of this, she says, isn't good, Lori.
I haven't been either. I never have.
You've never been to a chiropractor?
Never. Minus to shoot those stories.
Well, what about a massage? Do you go and get a massage?
God, please. You're usually in the robe next to me. You know I do a massage.
Also fair.
We were going to try to go this Friday. We couldn't get it together, so we're going to have to go another day.
I will say that a facial to me lately has been more relaxing than a massage. Ladies.
I liked the facial.
Gentlemen.
But I really enjoy a massage. There's this. I love a foot rub. Ask my husband. I'm always throwing my feet right in his lap. And my girlfriend got me for my birthday a special foot lotion. I was like, said to Paul, I'm like, look what Bridget got us for my birthday. But there's a place that I know that does only foot massages. It's not here. It's in Rochester.
Peak Performance in Kenmore. My friend Alicia works there. Connie says you need to find the right one. Some aren't as good as others for your type of needs. Tamara says the last facial she tried, it burned for her.
So there are some people who say I will say, like, I had Ed's friend who does the facial. She did it for my girlfriend's bachelorette party. Great bachelorette, like, little thing. And I did tell her very specifically though, I have super sensitive skin.
And how'd it go?
Fine. I had no issues.
Right.
It's very relaxing.
I'm telling you. And for an hour when you're just laying there having your face work done, you fall asleep. I mean, then she starts massaging your scalp. Oh
yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeanette's with me. I prefer a facial. They always do my neck and shoulders too. I find I can sit still for a good facial, but have a hard time sitting for a regular massage.
No, I can just lay there for both. I am happy as a, let's say, clam.
Jason's never had a facial. Where was that wondering about the facials, Erin? Okay, so we should probably have Sarah on. Wouldn't that be so fun?
She should come and just show us how the facials work.
Show
us.
What
if we did second cup? What if we did second cup on the tables?
That would be so fun. I think maybe I can work that
Oh
out.
my God, that sounds so amazing. So he's got this girlfriend who she has a business where she can bring them to you. So like she brings her tables, she brings her whole setup, which is why I did it for my girlfriend's bachelorette party. And it was great because we had like 10 girls or something like that. And then everybody just went through. She gives you a robe, you put your little robe on. It was lovely. Oh my God, my back hurts just talking about this. I just want to go
crack it. See, okay, wait,
no, I
hold
don't
on.
want to crack
No,
it. I
crack
wanna,
it.
like,
Let's hear the crack.
I don't know if I can.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Little one. I'm a chiropractor. Oh my God.
Hold on.
Did you hear that?
It's so good.
Chiropractor's going to say this is like, you two need to stop.
You are not chiropractors. Okay, so I'll ask Sarah. Maybe she can come on. That would be kind of fun, right? Maybe she can do it on Friday morning. That would be a good way to end the
Friday,
week.
the day that we tried to get a massage but couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
she should come.
Let's call her.
Okay, let's see. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about
Debt stuff?
yes. How many of us have debt that just continues to grow and grow and grow? Oh, Sharifa, thank you so much. Barbara says she had the best foot and calf massage at a resort in St. Lucia. Ooh. I bet Ed is a good person to go shopping with. I love his style. Thank you,
I would never go
Sharifa.
shopping with Ed because he would be trying to make you buy clothes that were like so tight. I like a big baggy sweatshirt and like a big baggy shirt, and he just teases me nonstop in those.
Because you don't need that.
But
Because
they're
you've got a
so- yeah,
beautiful
so-
figure.
Enough. I want to talk about the debts and
Okay.
the car loans. Okay, so question for you guys, because I actually saw one of the Facebook groups I'm in, maybe the Buffalo Mom, somebody was talking about like getting a new car and just how expensive the car payments were. Part of this is the loans people are taking out. Okay, so I was looking up right before we got here, what were the average costs for loans if you're taking it out for a new or used car? Okay, now we're talking on top of these car prices, which are like through the roof lately. You know how cheap I am, and this is just crazy. Average new car rate, if you have super primo credit, 5. For a used car, 7.6. And that's if you have a credit score between 781 and 850.
Well, we were talking about this too. Like, okay, so why is it so much more expensive to borrow money if you're buying a used car? And what you had found was kind of interesting too. Essentially, what they're saying is that the value of the car goes down, so
it's protecting the bank. It's
Right.
protecting the lender.
But anyway, more debt is growing around so many different places as well. People are overextending themselves is really what it comes down
Well,
to.
also, let's be real. 781 is a pretty high credit score,
Mhm.
right? So what do you think average is? Maybe this one, near prime, 601 to 660, something like that. The average new car rate is 9.6%. The average used car rate is 14.1.
Well, okay, and then there are like dealerships that are giving people who have low credit scores the opportunity to still buy cars. Also, they're like low credit, no problem. Those kinds of cars.
Yeah.
So does that create more problems?
I mean, ultimately, because it just depends on how. I guess I'd love to know what the interest rate is there.
Mm.
How much are you paying ultimately? Are you
Right.
paying double for that
Can
car?
you ever get out of that? It's like payday loans. Remember payday loans?
Mhm,
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so here's what we're learning, that credit card debt and credit card balances and the delinquency in paying that balance is now at the highest level since 2012. Higher than before the pandemic, but still lower than during the 2008 recession. So how many of us are using our credit cards to pay for things because we don't have the cash? I mean, look, that's how we use credit cards nowadays, right? But the hope is that you're able to pay off that balance on a monthly basis compared to living on a credit card.
I'm interested because Howard said Ford Edges right now have 0% financing. Okay, so you get 0% APR for 72 months if you do Ford credit financing, plus $1,000 customer cash, plus $3,000 bonus cash.
Okay, listen to this. Megan says, I just got a new car on Monday. My car payment went up $140 a month. Her car insurance up $40 a month. That's almost $200 more a month that you're paying for a car. And where are we supposed to get this extra money? Like if you are budgeting say $150 a month for a car payment, and you're budgeting $50 a month for insurance, okay, that's $200. Now you're asking for double that.
Yeah.
Where are you taking from to pay for other things?
I know. It's so expensive.
Crazy, right? Though Howard says, I only use my credit card for the points paid off weekly. Shirley says, I don't buy anything I can't pay for each month. Sarah says, don't get me started on car insurance, the biggest scam. You pay and pay for years, and if you need them, they penalize you. That, actually, I never really thought about that. Like, okay, look, I've had a car crash once or twice in my life, and my insurance just went up after my really bad car crash last year. But you're right. I mean, you have it to protect you, but then when you need it, they're just going to charge you more.
Right. Okay, so also Tamara, this is totally what you were just saying. So her last car, she was paying $260, now she's paying $400.
Wow. Yeah, right. Where are you getting that money from? I'm sure your salary is not going up. So
remember we were looking just recently at the inflation over the past however many years.
It's skyrocketed in the last 2.
Because you can go and look at how the inflation, the rates, right, year to year, and then how much it's changed. So something that cost you $1 in whatever now costs you $11 or $12. It's so crazy.
Marguerite, definitely don't put anything on credit cards you can't pay immediately unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Tamara says, my credit is amazing as well. Wow, look at this. Mine went from $460 to $600. Wow.
I know.
Sarah says, Ed, imagine how much you've paid in car insurance over the years. I would hate to add it up. I can't even imagine.
Well, I mean, but the other thing too is yes, I understand there might be some downfalls at different times, but if you do need extra coverage for some reason, God forbid something bad happens, in theory they're taking care of it. I understand there are whatever things that happen, but you can't not have it.
Well, legally you can't.
Yeah.
Right.
Second off, what if something happens and your car got totaled?
Well, look, I mean, and my car did get totaled, so
or somebody gets hurt. You know what I mean? There's so many things.
Well, and I got to be honest with you. At some point, I was also kind of pushing for my car to be totaled because
it hits that point where you're what's
right? Is it even safe to drive at that point?
Right.
And are we kind of just robbing Peter to pay Paul so that the insurance company doesn't have to pay out all this money? My point is that I don't want to be unsafe.
Yeah. Our insurance went up $97 at work. The car sits at home in the driveway.
I'm just reading Howard's comment here. Just traded my truck for a Ford Edge.
He was the one who said the Ford Edge had 0%.
A nice truck and higher trade-in value. I got out at 0% interest for 3 years at $310 monthly. I financed at 0% rather than take money from my 401k. Yeah, you never want to take money from your 401k,
okay, so,
right?
Howard, you literally bought the new truck. The new Edge. The Edge is bigger. It's smaller than the
It's
Escape.
an SUV. Well, it's probably a little bit bigger than the Escape.
Which one's bigger, the Escape or the Edge?
The Edge, I think, has that rounded body.
Howard, let us know which one's. I'm just
trying. It's definitely the Edge that's bigger.
Drove an Escape. So you got a new car that you're buying 0% for 3 years and $310 a month.
I feel like I'm listening to Janice
Mary
Lieberman.
says the Edge is bigger. I think the Edge is
Yeah.
So it's the Escape, the Edge, the Explorer.
The Explorer is big. Andrea drives an Explorer.
Those are the boom, boom, booms, right?
Though Andrea says you might be able to get a low mileage discount. Looked into that as I work from home part-time. Do you put money down when you are buying a car, or do you, if you're trading in a car, do you give them the trade and then put money down? Or same thing if you're leasing a car. If you're bringing your car back and you're give this to them, give it back. Do you say, okay, here, what's the trade-in for that, and then give money?
For leases, a lot of people don't.
I don't.
For buying, I don't think. Basically, you're paying this, right? You're putting less onto your loan if you put some money down. You're loaning less. So you're taking your monthly cost down. You're also paying less in interest the more you put
But
down.
I also just don't want to pay out of pocket like that.
Well, you're going to pay more in the long run then.
I trade and money down. I buy, not lease. Okay, so I'm a leaser because I like getting a new car. I also just don't want to have that high monthly payment for a new car.
when we were looking, the new cars and the leases weren't that far off.
Right. Which is mind-blowing at this point.
So I bought this new car. But this is the first one I like flat out bought. But I planned to buy the other one, and then we had a lot of issues with the car. But
Bonnie says everything is up, up, up. It's really horrible for seniors on a budget.
See, Megan too. Yeah, she's saying, listen, I never did before, but I put $1,000 down just to get it to that monthly payment. Sometimes I'm the same way, Megan, like, especially knowing that we were going to buy a car, put a little bit extra down to try to bring those monthly, because I'm like, I know then I can make this money up, right? You have in your mind how much you have to like make up to like, and you put it aside, you save a little bit. Okay, you put it, and then the monthly payments are where you need them to be.
Do you ever listen to WBEN on the weekends, Janice on Money? No. People call in and they like ask Janice Lieberman for some question, for some financial assistance. And it's just like really interesting to see where you fall compared to the people who are calling in on the show. I like it.
I would love it.
I honestly, all Russ listens to is talk radio. So like, while I'm blasting Taylor in the car.
So boring, Russ.
But hello to our friends Susan and Brian. We love them on WBEN. Susan Rose. I just want to be her best friend. I feel like she's a very nice person. She is a very nice person. And Brian is also a nice guy. We need Susie Orman, Peter says. Jeff says the only benefit of farming is tax exemption on the trucks.
And there's a lot of businesses you can do that with, right? Like if you have a business.
Yeah, you can write it off.
Truck for it, right.
But are you actually getting anything back by writing it off? Like, what is the benefit of a write-off? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it bringing your tax? Are you paying less in taxes? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, if you use it for your business.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, how much is it actually impacting your taxes?
I think it depends.
Right. Thanks, Jeff Baker.
Jeff Baker.
It lowers your taxable income. Okay, so in other words, you'd be taxed on less money.
Right, and so it would depend on how much you're making. You know what I'm saying? Like how much you'd have to write off.
Right.
Making.
Lauren's talking about Schitt's Creek. All I think is of David writing things off.
Oh my God, yes, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. And it's like, do you know what a write-off is?
Are you saying I'm David, Lauren? That's funny.
That show is so funny.
Ooh, Connie's going to Butterblock. Connie, what are you going to bring us? Are you going to bring us an almond croissant? Are you going
don't say that because she will. She's so sweet.
Are you going to bring us?
Don't bring us an almond croissant. He's thick. He doesn't need it.
Oh, get out. Oh my God.
I can say that because guess what he brought back last week? Tell everybody what you brought back last week.
Oh, lemon cake.
It was a little hard.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. It wasn't actually.
Okay, so Golden Cup, right on the corner of Jefferson, I think, and Landon. And Larry Stitz is the owner. We love Mr. Larry.
So Ed's out there for a story, comes back, and he knows I have a weakness too. And you like the same thing.
I do.
And he's like, I got a piece of lemon cake. And I'm like, where? And he was like, I have it right here in this box. And I was like, are you going to eat it at work? And he was like, I think so. And I was like, oh.
So we wound up splitting this chunk of lemon cake.
Oh my God, it was so good. And let me tell you what Ed does. He takes a couple bites. He's like, okay, now I'm done. 2 seconds later, fork's there again. And then he's like, no, I'm done. Back to work. I look over, there's the fork again. That icing was good.
It was delicious.
The cake was moist.
Made locally as well.
Super good. So it's someone who bakes and brings them there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was good. I texted our friend who really likes lemon cake, and I said, you're the lemon cake lover in our group. I was trying to remember. She's like, oh yeah, I go, I'm getting you a piece of this, but it was so good.
Check it out. Love Larry. He roasts his own coffee too. We were there for Second Cup a couple of months ago.
We just roast each other. Larry roasts his own coffee. We eat the cake.
You gotta love
other stuff there too, other cakes?
Oh yeah, and they actually make full breakfasts too.
Yeah, and they made the soup. They gave me the soup a little bit to try.
Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, we got to get going here. So glad you were with us for this Wednesday.
We start off heavy. We take it to a little levity.
That's what we need to do.
That's what Wednesday's all about.
Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. It is one day closer to Friday.
See ya.